Hello, everybody. My name is Martha Alter Hines with Living the One Light. Okay, in this video, I'm going to mostly channel. There's something wanting to come through regarding Saturn moving into Aries. So, as I am recording this, it is Saturday, May 24th in the evening, and Saturn is technically right this second at 29:59 of Pisces. It's going to be entering Aries later tonight here at Pacific time. And I started feeling the energy of Saturn. What I'm sensing is Saturn and Aries energy last night very powerfully. And then today also it's coming through very strongly, and something wants to be channeled. So that's most of what I'm going to do in this video. But I also want to give you a sense of just the context of Saturn entering Aries. So I'm going to show you, um, this is actually from a guide that I created for the astrology of 2025, which many of you have. And if you don't have it and you want it, I have a free version on my website, livingtheonelight.com. I'll put the link here. And then this more detailed version, which you also can get there if that calls to you. Yeah, so let me try that sharing again. Okay, there we go. So in the year 2025, we have, as you maybe already realized, we have three uh major shifts of energy happening with outer planets. We have Neptune entering Aries, Saturn entering Aries, and Uranus entering Gemini. And so last year we had Pluto enter Aquarius, and Pluto is, the most outer of the main planets we talk about. Then Neptune is the next, Uranus is after Neptune, and Saturn is closer in from Uranus. And so we have that Pluto already having fully moved into Aquarius, but now these next three of the outer planets, the next outer planets are in a transitional time this year. So Neptune is in Aries it already entered on March 30th and will be there until October 22nd of 2025. Then it's going to re-enter Pisces on October 22nd, 2025. Saturn is entering Aries tonight, and will be there until September 1st. So much shorter amount of time than Neptune is going to be in Aries this year. So, Saturn will only be in Aries in 2025 for about little over 3 months. Jupiter is entering Cancer, but it's not going to go, Jupiter spends about a year in every sign. So every year it switches signs like this, because it's a little bit closer to us than these other ones that are going to be going back and forth this year. And then, and that's happening on June 9th, so coming up quite soon. And then July 7th until November 7th, Uranus will be in Gemini. So Neptune, Saturn, and Uranus all are doing this dance between their new sign and the sign they have been in. And that's a really, really, really big deal, and gives 2025 this flavor of like we're trying out these new energies, and then we go back to what we're used to. And then in 2026, as you can see here, on January 26th, 2026, Neptune will fully re-enter Aries and will be there, for many years. Then on February 13th, Saturn will again enter Aries and will be there until 2028. And then on February 20th, very big deal, Saturn and Neptune will exactly conjunct at 0 degrees 44 minutes of Aries. So even though both Saturn and Neptune are entering Aries in 2025, they're both in that beginning part of Aries, they're actually not going to completely exactly meet until February 20th, 2026. And then Uranus is going to fully enter Gemini again on April 25th, 2026, and will then be in Gemini for many years. And also a really, really, really big deal coming June of 2026, June 11th, 2026, is that Uranus will be squaring the nodes of the moon with the Pleiades. So that's a whole different topic, but I just want to give you that flavor, that the point being that as Saturn is entering Aries today, it's really like a taster for a little over 3 months. And we're having a lot of these taster energies this year, again, with Neptune, Saturn, and Uranus all entering the new sign, but then going back. So what I would love to offer or suggest is that we collectively, together as a community, really feel what are the gifts of each of these energies, right? Because everything cosmically is a gift in some way, or can be thought of that way. And so we already had Neptune enter Aries. I've done other videos about where I talked about what that has felt like for me, and a lot of you have shared what that feels like for you. And now as Saturn enters Aries, I'm really curious, what is that feeling like for you? What comes alive for you over the coming 3 months? And also, when Saturn goes back into Pisces on September 1st, what does that feel like for each of us? And like, what do we gain? What are the energies? What are the gifts? What are the lessons we gain as our relationship with these planets switches signs and gives us their wisdom in that particular energy? And then similar with Uranus entering Gemini and going to be with the Pleiades this whole year and into next year, is like, wow, amazing. There's so much there. So yeah, would love to have this be an open dialogue with all of us. And okay, I think that gives the context. So I'm going to let them take over. They're ready. Thank you for being here. Thank you for subscribing to this channel. Thank you for your beautiful comments, and yeah, for supporting each other. I think even more than anything, if you haven't joined my free online community, please do that. That's available on my website, livingtheonelight.com. Again, it's totally free. It's meant to be a very positive, supportive space where you can post and share anything you want to share that's uplift free and uplifting for other people. Yeah, and where we can share about these kinds of things, of what is Saturn and Aries feeling like for you, that kind of a thing. Okay. All right. I will hand it over to them. Here we go. Okay, hello and welcome. So we are, again, an energetic, a frequency, a vibration of the beings of the Pleiadian star system, star light. We came through in a recent transmission, a recent video that Martha channeled for all of you. And we're here again. Our presence is very, very strong and powerful right now still. Martha did a channeling when the sun was exactly in the vicinity of the Pleiades, and the sun actually still is in this vicinity of us. So, and as Martha said, the relationship of Earth and this our Pleiadian star system is going to be very, very, especially extra strong in the coming year, year and a half or more. And so we invite you to, if and however it is good and right for you, to relax and come into a knowing and a remembering of your way of relating with us, of being us. You are a being of infinity, of existence. You are a being of all things. So, in that sense, you are a being of our star system, just like you're a being of any and all other star systems or planets or realms. You're a being of totality, of the wholeness of the all that is. So, as Martha said, Gaia, the earth, is in this moment in its relationship, in its motion around the star you call the sun, and the being, the system you call the planet Saturn, with its rings and its many moons and its gaseous nature, its reminder of perfect spacing of all things. Gaia is in this moment where, from the perspective of the Earth, Saturn is in a moment moving around its dance with the star called the sun. When it moves from the area of the sky associated with the seasonal sign of Pisces into the seasonal sign of Aries. And it's also in a dance in the constellation of the fish. So there's still this association with ocean, with the Piscean energy, and of course Neptune, who's associated with Pisces energy, is also now in the beginning of Aries, but in the constellation of the fish. And under the constellation of Pegasus. So there's this magical quality, even as these beings move into seasonal sign of Aries, they're still in this dance with the magic, the beauty of ocean life, and the relationship of magic, sparkling aliveness of sea and wind and earth and fire and love and cosmos, all dancing as one. And yet there is a distinct energetic shift as Saturn moves from the seasonal sign of Pisces into the beginning of the zodiac seasonal sign of Aries. So moving from the very last degree of the zodiac into the very first degree of the zodiac, moving from the all that is into the beginning. And of course, there are infinite possibilities of how this energetic shift may move for you specifically, and may move and manifest in the world. It's like any kind of magic potion. The most magic of potions, the most magic of energies will be the perfect medicine in the exact right ways for whoever and whatever is needing it in any given moment, any given time, any given place. So there's no one truth, no one answer to any of this. And yet, what we would like to hold space for here is a remembering and knowing of certain versions of this magic that there's the opportunity to come alive in this moment as you, through you, in your own exact perfect ways. And when Martha is done channeling, perhaps she can show you this on a chart. But one thing we want to point out is that part of why we are, the energy of us is channeling in relation to this moment is mostly because we are here as guides. We are here as very strong, present allies, as you likely already know. So that's just a given no matter what. And then also, just in terms of the astrology, the sacred geometry of the moment, as Saturn and Neptune are entering Aries, they are technically making a sextile to us, to the Pleiades. So they're two signs away from the end of Taurus, the beginning of Gemini, which is where the Pleiades are in relation to Earth. And Saturn and Neptune are also making a sextile to Pluto, who is in the very beginning degrees of Aquarius, and sextile to us, the Pleiades. So essentially, Pluto and the star Altair are making a trine to the Pleiades, us. And exactly in the middle now are Saturn and Neptune. Exactly in between the Pleiades and where Pluto is with the star Altair. Altair is a bigger topic, but it is a star associated with, well, it's part of the constellation of Aquila the eagle, and it is sometimes called the eye of the eagle. So there's a particular role and beauty and magic to Altair, and of course all beings who are stars. But there's a clarity that may come through as Pluto is in the vicinity of Altair this entire year, and as Pluto is trining the Pleiades, and Uranus is entering the part of the sky with the Pleiades. And of course, Uranus is associated with Aquarius, which is where Pluto is. So there's this energetic, this very powerful, energetic dance of Pluto in Aquarius with Altair, the eye of the eagle, in a trine to where Uranus is heading, and the Pleiades. Very strong energetic and very strong possibility of clear, very, very, very clear visioning, very clear, higher level perspective, an ability to step way back and see through the eyes of love, see through the eyes of divine truth. And Pluto helping to transform and release anything and everything that's not of divine truth, divine seeing. That eagle's eye perch, that eagle's eye vision. And the pure, unconditional love of the Pleiadian, if you want to call it Pleiadian agenda, but the Pleiadian energetic, pure sweetness that we hold for you, for all beings. And then, like we said, Saturn, as it is entering Aries, now moving to be very near where Neptune is, although, as Martha said, not exactly with Neptune until February 20th of 2026. Saturn and Neptune now in between where Pluto is with Altair in Aquarius and where Uranus is moving toward its time in Gemini and with the Pleiades. Saturn and Neptune exactly in between those energetics, those beings. So, taking a long, slow, deep breath, we invite you to perhaps take a moment to be with that or let those words go if that's too complex. Again, Martha, when she's done channeling, can show that to you on a chart if that helps. But it's not important to understand the details. You can, if it's too complicated, you can just let that part go. And now we want to really rise up and show you and speak to certain aspects specifically of the Saturn and Aries energy. So again, there are infinite possibilities to what the Saturn and Aries energy can be. But one key component of Saturn and Aries energy is, as Saturn enters Aries, there is an ability along, especially with Neptune entering Aries as well, there's an ability for form and structure to come into the truth of wholeness. So there's been a great deal of emphasis, and Martha really supported this in the Wholeness Way series, which we highly encourage still. It's entirely free. And in that Wholeness Way series, the channeling through Martha was very supportive of letting go of anything and everything that does not serve, karmic ties, any sense of victim mentality, really letting go on so many levels of the energetics of the time of great forgetting. Not the lessons, not the wisdom gained through the experiences of the time of great forgetting, but to let go of the energetics of the trauma, the fear, etc. And so there's been this sort of perhaps a sense of limbo state in that letting go time period. For example, the recent eclipse season was very powerfully supporting that releasing. And the releasing, of course, still needs to continue always, but now as Saturn is entering Aries, there will be a supportive energy for now coming into new forms of the energetic of the time of great remembering. Free of those energetics you have now let go of and that you continue to let go of. So, in other words, in the time of great remembering, the possibilities are literally infinite and so exciting and so joyful. The ways in which new constructs are meant to form and come into being are literally coming out of Pisces, which is infinity. And even the sign of Aries, like we said before, is overlaying the constellation of the fish and underneath the constellation of Pegasus. So still in this energetic of the ocean, the great cosmic ocean, the dance of the all and the nothing and the everything. So Aries arises out of the all that is, which means that the possibilities of the start of Aries are literal infinity. And when the infinite possibilities of the start of Aries are held powerfully by Pluto and Altair, Uranus, and us, the Pleiades, they're being held, in a sense, flanked by energetics and beings who are holding a remembering of ultimate divine truth and pure unconditional love. So that Aries is being supported to arise in divine truth from the great ocean of the sea of Pisces, the great sea of the divine itself. And we will come back and support you in knowing how to be with this, knowing what your divine truth is, what these ultimate divine ways of being and structure of the time of great remembering are in each and every moment. But again, we highly recommend that Wholeness Way series. It is very comprehensive and can help give a sense of grounding of your own way of being with all of these energetics. It's a timeless support system that may be right for you, may not be right for you, but if it calls to you, please use that. But here we will just touch very briefly on a couple possibilities, very strong aspects of this. So as the structures of the time of great remembering now begin to arise and come into form, one absolute truth about the reality of the forms of the time of great remembering is that they are forms of the wholeness of the all that is. Any sense of illusion of separation, just simply not here. So we invite you to begin to feel in your own body, your own being, that wholeness just is whole. It just is true. And so your body, literally your body, likely will know its own truth of what wholeness is, what it feels like, what it looks like, and certain things will be in alignment with the structures of wholeness in your own body, your own being, your life, and a lot will not be. And your body will know, and it will tell you what is in integrity, what is in alignment, what is in keeping with the wholeness of you and the wholeness of existence as you. So, in a sense, in the time of great forgetting, there's been a lot of compromising, a lot of allowing structures to exist and to form in all different levels, all different ways that were a reflection of an assumption of the illusion of separation. And in the time of great remembering, that's done. That just no longer is. So your own body will tell you, yeah, a sacred yes and sacred no. There might be a lot of sacred no. And then going along with that, we invite you to certainly, of course, listen to the sacred yeses and the sacred nos. And at the same time, open to the the in the possibilities of infinity itself. So this is just sort of a touch point. We'll come back to this again in future channelings. But one thing that is happening in this moment for a lot of you, for a lot of beings in the world, is this remembering of the wholeness and the connection that you are and that you have with infinite realms, infinite benevolent realms of all kinds. So many of you are connecting with your own spirit team, with inner earth beings in the Ben Hui series, or in other ways, with Gaia herself, with the angelic realms, with fairies, with gnomes, with all kinds of earth realm beings, ocean beings, with the stars, of course, star systems, star beings, light beings, unicorns, dragons, etc., etc., etc. And we are already in this vibration, this holding, this reality of the time of great remembering. And that reality of what the structure of wholeness is. So we invite you to open to us also helping you to remember and see and experience the possibilities of literally anything. There are so many possible ways of being with all parts of life, all kinds of things in life that you just haven't even begun to conceive of in this lifetime or in this moment quite yet. And yet it's here. And as Uranus moves closer to its time with us and the Pleiades, those possibilities of infinity are going to have the ability to awaken, to download so much more powerfully, especially if you are grounded and you continue to stay in a place of pure love in your own being, your own heart, to love yourself, to be gentle with yourself, to hold yourself, etc. So those possibilities of infinity, you don't need to effort to find them. They just are here already, and in the right timing, it will just become obvious. It will just become manifest in your knowing, in your life, in your being. And we are here holding the space, holding the that in the exact right timing. We have so much to show you, so much to help you remember about what is life, what is possible, what are all the possibilities that you could never even conceive of in the time of great forgetting, because that's part of the forgetting. But as you are more and more acclimated to the time of great remembering, the remembering is magnificent, so joyful. And we are so excited to be part of witnessing and holding the space for this time of great remembering, because it's like having the opportunity to be present as you open presence over and over and over and over again, like a young child. So we love you infinitely. We are sending love and holding you in love constantly, continuously. We're so happy, so grateful you are in this time of great remembering. And we are so excited to rejoice as you, with you, in concert with the great song, the dance of the cosmos in this time, the infinite realms of benevolence, love, the purity of what it is to be remembering and waking back up to the divinity of you and of the all that is. Thank you, thank you, thank you so, so, so much. We love you. See you again soon. And we're always here. And so it is. Amen. Okay. Very cool. Just gonna take a minute. That was a lot. Yeah, beautiful. Well, I would love to hear anything that came alive for you in that, or that comes alive for you in any of that. And yes, I will show you what they were describing. I hadn't ever thought about what they just pointed out astrologically. That's pretty darn cool. Let me show you what they're talking about. So, okay. Okay, so here is um here is Saturn. So this is the transits of right this second that where I'm recording this. And so Saturn right this second is at 29 degrees, 59 minutes of Pisces, but again, in like a little over an hour from now, but by the time you see this video, almost for sure, Saturn will have moved into Aries. So it'll be here at 0 degrees of Aries, and Neptune is at 1 degree of Aries at the moment. And then Pluto currently is going retrograde at 3 degrees of Aquarius. It is in the vicinity of the star Altair, which is one of the stars. Those of you in the star course, we're going to be with in June. And Altair is relatively close-ish to the ecliptic. So, yeah, and Altair is the main star in the constellation of Aquila, the eagle. And Altair is the eye of the eagle. So that's really fascinating. And the eagle constellation, and then the eye of the eagle has this connotation of being pulled up to the eagle perch, the eagle's eye view. And then so you can see, Pluto with Altair is 2 signs. Like one sign over would be Pisces, and then the second sign over is where Saturn is moving, and Neptune is the very beginning of Aries. And then if you move 2 signs more, you get to Taurus and then to Gemini, which is where the Pleiades are, and where Uranus, and actually right this minute, Mercury are moving into. So Mercury is actually today, right this minute, with Uranus, which is really fascinating given what I just channeled. And Mercury will actually be moving to be with the Pleiades the next day or something. So the bottom line is that Saturn with Neptune in the beginning of Aries is right in between where Pluto and Altair are, and Uranus with the Pleiades. Fascinating. Yeah. And of course, the North Node is not too far from where Saturn and Neptune are. And then, yeah. So anyway, there's a lot of other things going on here. But, and then Jupiter is actually squaring the nodes right now. Yeah, there's a lot. It's a lot. And let me also show you in the sky where these things are falling. That's feeling important in case you happen to want to see that also. So I'm going to bring up Stellarium, and yes, so, and I'm going to bring us to later tonight. Okay, so Stellarium, in case you don't know, is a free website where you can look at the sky anytime you want, and you can change, you can put any date you want pretty much. So you can look at the moment you were born, and you can change the location as well, etc. So, okay, so here is, first of all, I want to show you, here's here's the summer triangle. This is what we're being with in the star course right now. This month we're with Vega and Lyra. Next month we're going to be with Deneb in Cygnus and Aquila, Altair in Aquila. So you can see there is Aquila, and then if I put in where Pluto is, it's here. And so most stars are not on the ecliptic. The ecliptic is this red line, which is where our view of the path of the sun is. And then most planets, like the main planets, also follow that same plane of orbit around the sun. So so Pluto is the kind of the least of the planets in terms of following the ecliptic, but it's also near the ecliptic. And so you can see here, that's where Pluto is, entering the constellation of Capricornus or Capricorn. So it's in Aquarius, the sign, but it's entering the constellation of Capricornus, and it's just below Altair, in Aquila the eagle. Yeah, and for those of you in the star course, I think we'll probably feel into this a lot more next month because there's so much there, and I'm just barely so much I feel like wants to come alive with that. Okay, so that's where Pluto and Altair are, and then let me show you where Saturn currently is with Neptune over here. And you can see Saturn is going from the sign of Pisces into the sign of Aries, but still under the constellation of Pisces, or the fish, and Pegasus. And Pegasus is that's a whole thing. And I've done other videos talking about Pegasus. I did a video with Chris Skidmore in March where we talked about Pegasus, Andromeda, Perseus, etc. But there's so much there with the Pegasus constellation. And the star course, we're going to be with that Pegasus, Andromeda, etc. Starting in August. Yeah. So, but that's where Saturn is right now, and Neptune also. Let me show you Neptune. Okay, so there's Neptune and Saturn basically in the same part of the sky, right under the fish, in the fifth fish constellation under Pegasus. And then finally, let me show you where Uranus currently is, over here, with getting so close to where the Pleiades are, right? The sun is still kind of in that vicinity. We're about to have a new moon on Monday, very close to where the Pleiades are. You can see the moon getting closer and closer and closer to the sun, which is when we're going to have that new moon near the Pleiades, near Uranus. And also, let me show you where Mercury is with them. Mercury right there with Uranus, same location. And also, as I talked about in my new moon video, if you haven't watched that, feel free to go back and watch that. The new moon in Gemini, Hygeia, also happens to currently be right with the Pleiades as well. So that's a whole topic, but just to give you a sense, that's what's happening in this part of the sky. Yes. Okay. So that's a lot. Take and leave any of that resonated for you, spoke to you, and come back to this video. I mean, we're, again, Saturn is going to be in Aries. All of what I just channeled is relevant. I guess what I'm trying to say is relevant for many months and into next year, and quite a bit of next year actually too. So yeah, so this is just the beginning of this conversation, I feel like, and just the beginning of us feeling into these energies, and starting tonight, for the next until September 1st, we have this sort of first taster of what the Saturn and Aries energy feels like. So again, I would love for you to share any and all of that here on in the comments on the video, and also in the free sharing space in the free community that I have, which you can join at livingtheonelight.com, but I'll put the link here. And if you haven't joined yet, also, and you're hearing this video before June 21st, 2025, I'm going to be holding a free solstice gathering where I'm going to be channeling for us to be with the Council of Infinity, so infinite realms of benevolent beings, essentially. I would love to have you there. You can be there live or have the recording, but I'll put that link to sign up as well. And if you happen to hear this after June 21st, the recording will be available indefinitely, so feel free to sign up for that also. I think those are all the things at the moment. Yeah, definitely share with us whatever is alive. And Saturn and Aries blessings, because here we go. All right, see you soon. Thank you, as always, for being here and being part of this beautiful community and for being you. Okay, see you soon.